Rob, huge congratulations. You've closed the first round display. How would you assess it overall?
Yeah, I think I was clinical, start of the game, 5 from 5. Some great finishes there. I enjoyed the game, what I would say, a sort of practice room tonight, you tell yourself the right things. I worked my socks off to get here. I feel like I deserve to be here. And I'm very glad that I'm in the next round.
Well, you touched on that 6 or 7 weeks ago. It looked like a lost cause. When we looked at the ranking, Rob Cross was
Not for Bobby.
Was miles
Don't
away.
be like that, baby.
But
not for Bobby.
What did you tell yourself in that 6 or 7 weeks to the way you played, because you flew up those rankings? What was the motivation behind it?
Well, motivation. I suppose Rabbi, my manager, he had a little conversation. Me and him don't have many conversations because I love to win an argument. I love to win a conversation. But he sat me down and he said, "Come on, son." He said, "Look," he said, "You've seen the world Matchplay race." And I was like, "Nah, I've not looked at it because I never ever look. I've never had to. I've been blessed. I've been silver spooned. I've been the other stuff." But he said to me, "You're really in trouble." So following day, I thought, I'll have a little peek. I was about 40 some odd. I was in no man's land. And I thought to myself, but my words to him was, "I'm going to be all right." I said, "Don't worry about it, just wash it off, just like that." But I really would say, when I did look at it, that was my motivation. If you miss this place, you're doing something wrong in your career, And I've been very fortunate to be here most of my years. I think all my years, actually, since I've been professional. I love this place, and to miss it, actually, it was probably heartbreaking. I'll maybe give up, I'm not too sure, but at the same time, that conversation really gave me a kick up the backside, pushed me into where I need to do. And look, I suppose I look at darts now. I'm single now, so that's all I've really got in the world now is darts. I can just concentrate on that.
You touched on, obviously, like you said, you've been blessed the way you've been in all these big major tournaments. Was that a real shock to the system and a wake-up call then when you looked at the ranking?
No, I don't think so, Phil. I think in a way maybe it's a wake-up call, but then when you was born and your ass was always on the porcelain, it don't really matter. Never really had a lot in life and other stuff, and but it's one thing, what I learned to do through life. I can fight for whatever I want, and that's what I've done. If you're good enough on one day or the next, great, and if you're not, go back to school and go again, so.
Cheers, Rob. Congratulations.
Rob, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You won a title not too long ago, but despite that, do you feel like you've been overlooked and underrated heading into this tournament, despite winning it before?
No, not at all, What you're looking at, a 22 maybe, ranked player, overlooked. I think I would have done better on job seekers allowance personally. But yeah, look, I've not played well for a long time. I've not been involved and stuff. I was blessed last year, I didn't play the darts last year. I still got the Premier League. That was I wouldn't say a disaster or whatever. I had some decent averages in there. I played the World Series. That didn't work out. Even though, I won the first one. Never got replaced this year. And I don't blame them at 22. But the difference is, I think, look, if you're buzzing and you're playing well, you're wanted and you're up the top end of the game. And if you're not, you need to put more practice in. You need to do the right things and try and get yourself back. But for the last 2.5, 3 months, I've been really focused. I've really concentrated on what I wanted. The first agenda, obviously, was making the match play, which I think I've done well. There ain't many people in the world what can do what I do, There's a lot of quality players out there what missed out this time, and they couldn't do that. So, I feel blessed. That's what I would say.
You mentioned that motivation there, the focus, you've been working hard. How difficult do you think it will be to keep that motivation now, not just for this tournament, but for the rest of the year, and get back into that top 16?
I'll be back in the top 10 by the end of the year. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
And is it good then to have that mentality and to have that that belief that no matter what happens, that you know you've got the quality within you still.
Yeah, but the problem is Bobby's a psychopath, and that's why he's never dealt with a game. But when the mind's right, I can do what I want, and I'll prove that.
And just finally, as always, when we head into a major tournament, most of the talk is Luke Littler, Luke Humphries. When Luke Humphries goes out of the tournament in the first round, is there any talk in the practice room or eyes looking up at the TV thinking, wow, this is an opportunity?
I have to admit, I'd love to answer that, but there was no one in the room. By the time Luke Humphries went out, it was only me and the manager.
What was your reaction then?
And I don't even like talking to him.
What about yourself? Did you talk to yourself?
No, I always talk to myself, but it wouldn't have been about darts. Definitely not. Nah, fair play to Cammy, I would say that.
Fair enough, Rob.
Thank you, sir.
Well done tonight, Rob. What gives you such belief that you will be back in the top 10 at the end of the year?
I've always been lucky and I've always been good. I've never really spent much time out the top 10 if you look over a 10-year period. I've been through hard times before. I can deal with them. I'm pretty resilient, I suppose, and pretty robust, you know. If things go wrong, I'm already used to that. You know, that was life, wasn't it? So I suppose the rest of it just comes with it. But it's how much you want it, and that's the thing. You know, I get my head down now. I work hard. I put my right foot forward when I come in to the back end of the year and not overlooking this. I want to win this again, you know. So I think it's a want thing with me. And when mentally I'm not right, I can't win a raffle. I can't beat Mickey Mouse. I've probably said that before. So, no, I'm good at the minute. I'm enjoying darts and I want to be here. So, yeah, why waste it, eh?
A good time.
In a year's time, I probably won't want to play.
A good time of the year, I guess, to have that motivation and that desire with this tournament and everything that comes up towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I suppose so. I wish, yeah, and what have I been professional now? I think it's my 10th year. I wish I could have probably, if I could change anything mentally, or anything in the game, I wish I could be like that from the first year onwards, you know. And the difference is, we look at Luke Littler, he's the best player in the world, and mentally he's a fortress. And he deserves that, you know. Whereas I've been Mr. Blobby or Mr. Bobby at times and other stuff. I've been all different stuff through them years. But at the minute, I'm ready and I'm willing to sort of take that leap, and I want to win. I want to win.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Well played tonight, Rob.
Cheers, mate. Where'd you come from? What's your name? Where you been?
They got Kieran Price up next now. He didn't play his blistering best tonight, and with Luke Humphries out in your little section as well, are you sensing there could be an opportunity to go deep here now?
I don't think it's about the opportunity, you know. One game at a time. Me and Gezi had a bit of banter tonight before he walked out. I told him he was lucky. He said, I'll get lucky on Wednesday and all. You know, I told him I was going to win and all. But at the same time, me and him have that kind of banter. And I've got a lot of time for Gez for the way he is. But when come Wednesday, we got to play. And best man to win on the day, I suppose, you know. I want it a little bit more at the minute. And there's no doubt that Gezi don't turn up. Gezi will turn up. He'll have a lot of confidence with today being behind. I'm not silly. I know how to play the game. I know how to read the game. I can read most. I even sort of, I don't know, I watched Gezi's game today and I wasn't surprised that he got away with it. You know, if he played someone else in the tournament, maybe it was different. But he had the right man for the job.
How do you think?
That's bad, isn't it? I didn't mean that. I did.
And you think before your game, in a couple of days, there'll be that banter beforehand as well, or not?
Me and him will have a little bit of banter, but it'll be work. And that's what it has to be. He's a true professional, I would say that. I always got on with Gez, but down to the job. Get on with it. Make sure you're a winner.